All right, we are back live for the halftime performance. Just making sure my mic isn't echoey. I really apologize for the first half technical difficulties. I am in the booth by myself, so trying to work out all these problems so we get a clean second half. And we have a great game on our hands here tonight. 20-6, Bishop Moore Hornets lead. Again, I appreciate everybody sticking with me through this, and I appreciate all the positive feedback. We got a good halftime show here by the Hustlers Performance. Bishop Moore so far moving the ball down in chunk plays. They've been stopped short of that goal line on that goal line stand in the half, about the end of the half. About third and goal, fourth and goal, and Hustlers just couldn't stop Amare Johnson from sliding in for a touchdown. Hustlers have been gashed through the air, and a couple quick passes. The acceleration by the Bishop Moore receivers, Malachi Estrada, Keon Alston, along with Magnus Talma, throwing fits at the Hustlers defense. And I got to say, coming into this ball game, I am pretty impressed on how the Hustlers have held up. You know, this is only a two-score game. Bishop Moore is ranked number 45 in the state of Florida. So this is not a team to be taken lightly, and it shows true improvement from this Hustlers team that we saw about 2 weeks ago. Me and Alan were here, and, you know, they lost 21-9 against St. Andrews, and it was just a really sloppy game from MCC. We've seen some sloppy plays so far in this first half. We'll see if they can clean that up. I'm sure the coaches are trying to make adjustments out there with the sophomore signal caller, Sebastian Troyan. We'll see what happens before that second half kickoff in 10 minutes. And, you know, I just got a text from Caleb. Caleb Brown, of those of you who don't know, is currently dealing with numerous, problems, and he needs all the support and prayers he can get. He's such a great man. I gave him a call. He is in a hospital bed right now, and he helped me out with this sound, helped me figure things out. And, man, I appreciate him greatly for helping me out. So just show him all your support. There is a GoFundMe on the Brevard Sports Network. He needs all the help he can get. Most importantly, all the prayers he can get. And he's just a great man, and he really cares about his job and really cares about Brevard County and all these student athletes, along with all the parents out there trying to watch their kids, make sure guys like me are, in line and treating it right, making sure everything goes smoothly. Even though he's laid up, I just really appreciate him. And I will mute. I will show you this halftime show that's going on. We got about 10 minutes before the second half kickoff. Great halftime performance there, as we got about 5 minutes till kickoff, and All right, we got about a minute before this first half begins. Let's hear a word from our quick sponsor.
Hi, I'm Christy Lindback with Compass, your East Coast real estate expert. When it comes to selling your home, experience and strategy matter. My team and I make sure every detail is handled, so you get top dollar and a stress-free experience. We bring in professional stagers, high-end photographers, and cinematic videographers to showcase your home at its best. Because every showing starts online and we make sure your home stands out. With consistent communication, strong negotiation skills, and local market expertise, I guide you every step of the way. Because here in Brevard, when it comes to real estate, Chrissy knows. Ready to buy or sell in Brevard? Visit Chrissy Knows and let's get started.
All right, thank you to our sponsor, Miss Chrissy Lindbeck, and another one of our sponsors tonight, the cruise coach, Rich Pruzinski, world-class travel educator and advisor. Call that number at the bottom of your screen, 321-506-6900. Visit that website, thecruisecoach.com. I think I might need to call Mr. Rich up, go on a little cruise. Sounds like a good time to me. Never been on a cruise. Again, I like to apologize about that first half volume. I believe all of my audio issues are resolved. Again, if they tend to spark up again, let me know. Shoot me a text if you can. But I appreciate everybody sticking through that first half as we hope to have a smooth second half broadcast. And hopefully for the Hustlers, they can start off with a bang as that one's kicked off. Hustlers will receive the second half kickoff. That's going to be a touchback, and they get the ball at their own 20-yard line. And once again, like to thank, Caleb went through something very serious. Mr. Caleb Brown, a huge part of Brevard Sports Network, taught me everything. He's still teaching me things that I know about, trying to produce these broadcasts and doing play-by-play, still teaching me as I just called him on that halftime, and he was able to tell me what the issue was, and I got it fixed up. And we are back here for the second half thanks to Mr. Caleb Brown. Everybody shoot your thoughts and prayers towards him. He's going to need every single one of them. Long road back for recovery. As the Hustlers offense needs to get in the end zone. They have 2 field goals, but they've started with the ball inside the red zone twice. This game should be either a 1-touchdown game or even tied. Flores back in the Wildcat. Quick pass outside. That's caught. He's got block. He's going to turn upfield. He's going to get the first down. That time on the reception, number 8, Lucas Hamilton. Good blocking on the outside by the by the Hustlers receivers. So easy to mix up these teams' mascots, Hustlers, Hornets. You see that big hornet in the middle of the field, that's actually MCC's Hustlers logo. So same logo, different colors for both teams. Flores again takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself after the fake handoff. He's going to turn around field, nowhere to go. That time, number 6 on the tackle, Colton Brown, the sophomore backer for Bishop Moore. Loss of 3 yards on the rush attempt by Flores. Looks like the coaches liked what they saw at halftime in that Wildcat formation. They're going to stick with it. Noah Flores exploded for a 50-plus yard run to get this team into the red zone, but unable to capitalize, ended up with a field goal. Now 2nd and 13, Flores remains the quarterback. 4 receivers to the left of your screen. Flores takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He's got screen blockers outside, makes a man miss, gets up to about 5 yards short of that first down marker. Ball placed at their own 36. It's going to be the 35. Good gain on 2nd and 13 to bring it to a 3rd and 5. Flores remains the quarterback in the backfield. Now he's going to go empty. Always a threat to run is Flores. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Motions a man. That's Clark. He's going to fake the toss. He's going to cut it up inside. He's going to be short of that first down marker by a couple of yards. The Hornets were all over that one there. And they're going to send out the punting unit. And I can understand that. It's a 4th and about 2 yards. You don't want to give this Hornets offense positive field position no matter what position you are in the game. 9:30 to go here in the third quarter, down by 2 scores. Punter's going to be Will Stewart. Snap a little bit to his right. He's going to keep running and punt it late. Gets the punt away, and it's going to be downed right at about the Hornets' 36-yard line, 34-yard line. Good stand that time by Bishop Moore's defense, able to get the ball back into their hot offense's hands. And the Hustlers, you got to give them credit where credit is due. They have tried to slow down this Bishop Moore's offense as best they can. You know, a couple chunk plays have really hurt this defense. But it's really tough to stop guys like Blake McCullough, Amari Johnson, you know, Keon Alston. These are guys, Division I offers. Alston's committed to University of Illinois, who's a 9th-ranked team in the nation. McCullough takes the snaps, going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson, quick explosion off the handoff. He's going to burst it away for a first down. 1st and 10, fresh set. Jelani Clark on the tackle for the Hustlers. And the Hornets are moving fast, but there is a pre-snap penalty. It looks like it's going to be a false start on the Hornets. Again, I'd like to thank all of you joining us here tonight on this beautiful Friday Night Lights Week 5 matchup. It's a beautiful, you know, these windows are open. You got this nice breeze coming in here to the booth. Cool me off. Must be great playing weather out there. Not quite to football weather, though. It's tough to achieve here in Florida, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. McCullough takes the snap all day to throw. He's going to fire a deep ball. He's got a man. Overthrown. Had the deep receiver that time. Pass intended that time for Magnus Talma. And usually McCullough with a 73% completion percentage on the year. Able to put that on the money. Talma had about 3 steps on the defender that time. Number 13, Carmelo Williams, playing that deep safety position. McCullough takes a snap. He's going to throw another deep ball, and it's going to be way out of reach, overthrew the defender. So back-to-back overthrows by McCullough. That's going to bring up I believe it's going to be 3rd down. 3rd and about 15 yards. And there was a penalty, actually, on the Bishop Moore Hornets. Illegal man downfield. It looked like they declined the penalty, but they backed him up 5 yards. So, okay, so yeah, they did decline the penalty, so it's going to be 3rd and 15 instead of a 2nd and 20. Smart decision there by the Hustlers. So far this season, the Hustlers allowing 24 points per game. Not a bad average. Just it's tough with that sophomore quarterback trying to get him in the end zone. You know, McNabb went down week 1. Carey misses a couple tackles. He keeps on going past the 50. So now it brings a question mark after the good run by Johnson. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4. I think the Hornets will go for it here. They really trust their defense. The defense has played great up to this point. 4th and 4. And actually the offense is going to come off the field. Little surprised by that decision there by Coach Hedrick, but he knows better than me, been in this business for 20 plus years coaching the same team, so I trust whatever decision he's going to make. But I would keep an eye on a fake punt here. I would not rule it out. Snap is good, and it is a fake punt, and he's going to get outside, and he's got the first down and more. Did he stay in bounds? No, he didn't on the fake punt. 50-yard touchdown. Trenton Gummer. Unbelievable. Looked like he stepped out but decided to tightrope that sideline, and he's in for a 50-yard rushing touchdown off the fake punt. Incredible play that time by the Hornets. And the Hustlers were not prepared for that fake punt there. So that's going to tack on 6 to their already big lead against the Hustlers. The extra point attempt is up and through the uprights. 27-6. The Hornets extend their lead to double digits after the 51-yard fake punt touchdown. Bishop Moore set to kick it away after, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I did say they were going to go for a fake punt there, and that's exactly what they did. They put their best return man, Trenton Gummer, and he took it 51 yards to the crib, as now they're going to kick it away, and it's going to land in the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. Troyan will take over at their own 20-yard line, and Hustlers really need something on offense if they want to stay in this game. 7:19 to go here in the third quarter. If you don't get a touchdown here, hopes and really the morale goes down on that sideline. So it's going to be up to the players and coaches to keep that morale high on that sideline, make sure guys are doing their assignments and hyping other guys up. First and 10. And I believe that's going to be Troyan back under center. He's going to motion Flores. He's going to give it to Flores on a sweep. Looks like the Hornets are over. It's going to push him out of bounds. Great coverage. And there's a late flag coming in. We'll see what that flag is. That's the last thing the Hustlers need is a flag. And it's going to be a face mask against Bishop Moore. So a huge free 15 for these Hustlers. Maybe they can try to build something off that penalty. And they've had a couple good drives in this ball game. A couple big runs by Flores, nice passes by Troyan. But they cannot convert once they get into that 20, 10-yard line. DeWitt lined up directly behind Troyan. And he's going to hand it to DeWitt. Good blocking. Now he tries to pile ahead forward, but nowhere to really go. He's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 after no gain on the rush. Noah Flores leads this Hustlers team in receptions with 19. Hustlers have yet to get in the end zone so far. This game kicked 2 field goals, and they missed a 45-yard field goal. after the fumble by Amari Johnson, not able to capitalize off the turnover. Troyan fumbles the snap. Now he's going to throw it across the field, and that is right to the Hornets defense. And that was just a rainbow pass and a triple coverage, and the Hornets will take over on their own 50-yard line. Number 2, Lemuel Bass on the interception for the Hornets, and that is the last thing the Hustlers needed in this ball game. Now McCullough takes over at his own 45, fires a quick pass, hit hard, incomplete pass. Nice read that time by the far side defensive back. See if I can get a number. Looks like it was maybe DeWitt on the pass breakup. Second and 10 after the incomplete pass by McCullough, and the Hustlers defense has done a good job of disrupting his passes, getting him off time. It's going to be a handoff to Johnson. Johnson bounces it outside. Now he's going to go towards that sideline, brought down. Not before he, see what the marking is. Looks like they're going to give him a first down. DeWitt was on the tackle, and looks like he's going to be maybe a half a yard short of that first down. So 9.5-yard run for Johnson. I don't see why they don't go right back to Johnson here. Takes the snap, is going to hand it off. There's Johnson again. He's going to get the first down and more. He keeps on trucking along, and Amari Johnson tearing up this Hustlers defense. Back-to-back runs of 10-plus yards. Bishop Moore moving fast. Another screen pass outside. That time he's got blockers. And he's going to hit the sideline, pushed out of bounds before he can get to the goal line, but he is going to enter the red zone. Kenyon Alston. McCullough just putting him in front of him, let his playmakers run. And there is going to be a holding against Bishop Moore, so that's going to bring him back 10 yards from the marker. Another penalty helping these Hustlers out. Can they capitalize? It's getting late in this ball game. 5:12 to go here in the third quarter as they trail by 21 points. And we're going to get officials' water break. This water break, again, like to thank everybody joining me here tonight. And, again, thank you to Caleb. Make sure this sound is right. Started a second half stream. Hopefully this one's going a lot smoother. I apologize for the audio issues in the first quarter. Hopefully you saw the gameplay and just kind of turned down the volume there. But nonetheless, we got it up and going. Also like to thank our sponsor, the Cruise coach Rich Pruzinski, along with the boys and girls lacrosse. And MCC is really fallen back in their record. You know, they're going to drop to 1-3 if they cannot come back in this ball game, and not something that MCC is used to over the last couple of years. Had some great teams, and I know they've been plagued with injuries, especially to their captain quarterback Brogdon McNabb. McCullough drops back, got all day to throw, fires over the middle of the field, and dropped. Great defense that time by Carmelo Williams. That time not letting the receiver get behind him and breaking up the pass. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass, and back to the Hornets being 1-2 this season. A couple of tough losses. They lost last week to Riverview 45-14. So couple of rough games back to back so far for the Hustlers. Going to hand off to Johnson, and he breaks another tackle. Now he's going to turn it around field. He's got blockers in front. He's got the entourage, cuts back inside, piles over defenders. Good gain that time by Amare Johnson. Looks like they had him in the backfield, but just could not bring him down. Great one by Amare Johnson. Gets him down to 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. They're going to give it back to Johnson. Johnson finds a crease, and he gets into the end zone. Amare Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game for Bishop Moore. His 14th touchdown on the season through 5 games for the senior running back. And this game is getting a little out of hand as we get later into the second half. Nico Salas to attempt the extra point. Snap's good. Kick is good. Tack another 7 onto that 27. Make it 34-6. That one, a little onside kick, able to be recovered by the Hustlers. And, man, Bishop Moore is not holding back. A little onside kick attempt there. They're trying to put this game to a running clock. Good job to recover it that time by number 16, Jackson Lawnmeyer. Senior making an impact. And the Hustlers get great field position once again in this ball game. Can they capitalize? They have to score if they even want a sliver of a chance to stay in this ball game. They're going to go back with Flores in. Don't want to call it a wildcat because he is a passing threat as well. Flores fakes the pass. Going to be a quarterback draw. He's going to file ahead for about 7 to 8 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and short for the Hustlers. Second and 3 now for Flores, as Troyan seems to be taking a back seat in this ball game. They're just going to let Flores do his thing back there. Going to hand it off the gut to DeWitt. DeWitt's going to get the 1st down and more. That is a big man, Howard DeWitt. And whistle still not blown. Now finally taken down. Great gain of about 15 yards that time by Howard DeWitt. DeWitt leads this team in carries with 26 carries, 147 yards. One fact about these Hustlers, I know they had, a couple of kick return touchdowns. No rushing touchdowns on the season, according to Max Preps, on the season for the Hustlers. They've yet to get in the end zone here tonight, but no rushing touchdowns through now 3.5 games. Fresh set for Flores. Flores takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Clark. He's going to keep it himself back up the gut. And Flores piles ahead, close to that 1st down marker. That offensive line kind of giving a second wind to each of its running backs. 7 yards that time on the quarterback keeper by Flores. And, 2:40 to go. This offense, it's not so much hurry-up offense now, but you got to try to get in the end zone quick. This is a great drive by the Hustlers, but down by this many scores, you want to try to get in as quick as you can. DeWitt lined up behind Flores. Flores reads the end. He's going to take it. He's going to pull it himself. He's going to get the first down and runs out of bounds. Good read by Flores, able to outrun that defensive end on the read option. Another fresh set for MCC. And, we've seen this a couple times by the Hustlers, them able to move the ball down the field or take over with good field position after a turnover and just not able to capitalize. A couple negative plays leads to a field goal, and then the one on the fumble by Johnson, a sack, a penalty, and a loss of yards on the run led to a 45-yard field goal attempt, which was no good. Flores fakes the handoff, fired out quick to Clark. Clark's got blockers in front, turns up the field. He's got the sideline. Touchdown! Hustlers. Jelani Clark gets in the end zone on the pass from Noah Flores. First touchdown of the game for the Hustlers, and it's a much-needed touchdown. And we'll see if they decide to go for two to make it 14-34, make it a 20-point ball game on the dot. Oh, there's a flag. What's the flag? Oh, man, it's going to be a holding. That hurts for the Hustlers. Oh, man, you just hear a big sigh in this crowd when that holding penalty was called. So it's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So it's going to bring up a 1st and 13. So good play call that time by the coaches and good execution by Flores and Clark, able to run behind his blockers. Flores letting DeWitt know the play, letting him know where to line up. 2:09 remains here in the third quarter. Flores takes the snap, high snap to his left. Does he have the speed to outrun? He does not. Was he not on the ground? I guess he wasn't. Noah Flores keeps on going. What in the world? It looked like he was tackled. Apparently he must have landed on the defender that time, number 5. Magnus Talma looked like he had him wrapped up a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, able to bounce off and fire off for a Hustlers first down, gain of about 25 yards that time by Noah Flores. Gets it inside the 10. And that's one thing that the Hustlers can always count on, a great explosive play by Noah Flores. A miraculous play at that. Flores takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to DeWitt. DeWitt trying to get outside, shows him the arm, trying to get the corner, now ripped out of bounds. Tough run that time by DeWitt, trying to show him the stiff arm, break loose, unable to. Maybe gained about a yard. Second and goal from the 6. Got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Troyan back at quarterback, going to hand it off to DeWitt. DeWitt tries to spin off a couple of defenders. Gets down to about the 2-yard line, looks like. Third and goal now. Third and goal from the 2 after the 4-yard run by DeWitt. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. MCC needs a touchdown. Flores back at quarterback. Troyan takes a seat. Flores takes a snap. It's going to be a quarterback keeper trying to get outside. Great defense by the Hornets. Able to contain Noah Flores, a hard thing to do. But that time the defense on the same page. And once again, unable to capitalize inside the 10-yard line are the Hustlers. 4th and goal. Got to go here. 17 seconds. We'll see if they get a playoff before the third quarter ends. And they are running to the sideline, so it looks like they're not going to get a playoff. Gives them time to draw up the perfect play on 4th and goal. As we head to the fourth quarter, we'll flip sides, and we'll be right back with fourth quarter action.
Hi, I'm Christy Lindback with Compass, your East Coast real estate expert. When it comes to selling your home, experience and strategy matter. My team and I make sure every detail is handled, so you get top dollar and a stress-free experience. We bring in professional stagers, high-end photographers, and cinematic videographers to showcase your home at its best. Because every showing starts online, and we make sure your home stands out. With consistent communication, strong negotiation skills, and local market expertise, I guide you every step of the way. Because here in Brevard, when it comes to real estate, Chrissy knows. Ready to buy or sell in Brevard? Visit Chrissy Knows, and let's get started.
All right, and we're back here for fourth quarter action. Flores misses the snap. This is a 4th and goal. Flores now rolling left, nowhere to go but out of bounds. Now he's going to try to flip fields, and he's not able to escape. And once again, the Hustlers fail to convert inside the 10-yard line. That time a missed snap by Flores in the center. Credit to that Bishop Moore defense. Able to cause the missed snap, and dysfunction is one word to describe that offense for the Hustlers. And, you know, looking ahead for these Hustlers, they're going to travel to Titusville, and that is not an easy game. They're going to go all the way up to Titusville, and they're going to have to try to come away with a victory. If they don't win that game, they will drop to 1-4 through 6 weeks on the season. Hand off that time, nowhere to go. Good stand-up defense by that D-line for the Hustlers. Brought down by Will Warren along with number 55. Number 54, Vance Sanger. (34-6). The Hornets lead. McCullough, quick pass outside. That's caught. And he's going to step out right before that first down marker. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Magnus Tilma on the catch for the Hornets. Tilma, another guy with multiple Division I offers for this Bishop Moore offense. McCullough takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Johnson, and Johnson breaks free. There goes Amare Johnson, pushed out of bounds right at that 50-yard line. Amare Johnson flashes his speed. Gets across into Hustlers territory as they just keep on shredding the Hustlers defense. 10:59 to go. Bishop Moore trying to get this to a running clock. Moving fast. McCullough, quick pass outside. That's caught and unable to stop. It's going to be a first down. This looks real easy out there for Bishop Moore. Jelani Clark on the tackle for the Hustlers. And the Hornets are not wasting any time. They're going to want to get this ball moving. Takes the snap, going to hand it off to number 26. Able to pile ahead. It's going to be a good gain, about 4 or 5. Donovan Forfuno on the carry. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. Second and 5. McCullough drops back to pass. That's dropped. Looked like a little drawn up screen play. The intended receiver that time, Matt Sullivan, the junior receiver. First time we're calling his name in this ball game. Ball was just a little bit high, and not on the scouting report for McCullough. He's been a little inaccurate today. Missed a couple big plays down the field, and that time overthrows his receiver in the flats. 3rd and 5 now. Hustlers load the line of scrimmage. Going to hand it off outside. He's got space. He's going to pile ahead. That's going to be another first down for the Hornets. Donovan Forfino on the carry once again. First time we're featuring him in this rushing offense for Bishop Moore. McCullough's going to keep it himself. Quarterback keeper, first time again we're seeing that. They're pulling out all the tricks in the bag. And that's going to be another first down run inside the 10-yard line for Luke McCullough. Noah Gabriel able to stop the touchdown from McCullough. McCullough not much of a runner this season. He's your prototypical pocket passer, shows he can get those cleats moving. Forfino again, he's got a clear lane to the end zone, able to stop it up. Good pursuit on the running back that time by the Hustlers defense. Now we're under 9.5 to go here in the 4th quarter, and it's looking real bleak for the Hustlers. 2nd and goal from the 2. Let's see if they let Forfino finish this off. They're going to hand it to him, and he gets the touchdown. Touchdown, Hornets. The sophomore running back, Donovan Forfino, had a couple great runs and finished it off with his first touchdown of the season. That's going to be another 6 for the Hornets. Extra point attempt is up and good. Lead extends 41-6 after the 2-yard punch in by Dom Forfino. Bishop Moore's going to kick it away. Maybe we'll see a little onside kick here. Nope, it's going to be a pooch kick. And it's going to be returned by Jelani Clark. Jelani Clark rips a tackler off him, brought down at his own 38-yard line. Let me fix the quarter real quick. Just realized that it's not the third quarter anymore. I've only said it 4 times. Apologize for that. Again, like to thank all of our sponsors here tonight. Boys and Girls Lacrosse, the Cruise Coach, and Chrissy Lindbeck. Chrissy able to provide us a nice commercial. Takes us to another level in professionality, if that's a word. Troyan takes the snap, jet sweep. He's going to give it to the running back instead. Handoff goes maybe for a couple yards. Ja'Cory Mills, first time he's carrying the football tonight. 6:40 and ticking for the Hustlers, and they are, never say never, but they are pretty much out of time in this ball game. If they cannot score on this drive, that'll pretty much put a bow on it. Troyan now making calls at the line. Young sophomore able to communicate well with his receivers. Troyan looks down the field and steps right into pressure. Number 55, Mateo Riviera on the sack for Bishop Moore, along with number 13, Noah Prince. That is Rivera's 4th sack of the season through 4 3/4 games. Picked up 4 sacks. Pretty impressive for the senior defensive lineman. And the Hustlers are really taking their time here. I mean, time is of the essence. I know this game is pretty much out of reach, but you want to see a little bit more giddy up from this offense. Troyan takes a snap. It's a deep drop back. It's going to be a screen pass to Ja'Cory Mills. Ja'Cory Mills has an entourage. Now he's going to cut back the middle of the field, going east and west. Now he's going south. Now he's pushed out of bounds. Could have been a bigger game, but instead he ran back 2 or 3 yards instead of getting upfield and trying to get all positive. Goes out of bounds. Clock goes under 5 minutes to go here in the 4th. And again, just kind of jogging out there. I know you never want to pack it in, but it kind of looks like they're packing it in. Oh, excuse me, that's on me. There's a penalty. So it's going to be a face mask, and Mills kind of probably stuck that arm out and grabbed the defender's face mask. So that negates the first down play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Troyan motions a man outside. Another deep drop back, throws a bullet right over the middle of the field. That one's caught by Bonenberger. Good gain. Good 25-yard throw and catch by Troyan and Bonenberger. Bonenberger really quiet tonight. The whole offense is a little bit quiet except no Flores, but Bonenberger, 8 catches, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the young season. Troyan rolls right, fires a quick bullet outside. That time again caught, out of bounds. Nope, not out of bounds. The clock will continue to tick, tackled in bounds. Colton Brown, the receiver, able to haul it in for a gain of 5 yards. And we're under 3 minutes to go and still huddling up. And now it's just real reps for Troyan, trying to read a defense and get his groove on. This game's pretty much over. Ja'Cory Mills in the backfield. 2nd and 5. And Bishop Moore's going to bring a blitz. Good pickup by that offensive line, and it's caught. Great throw, threading the needle. No. The intended receiver is Flores. We had a return, but it's blown dead. So maybe he didn't hang on to it, hit the ground. I'm not sure what happened there. Have to wait for the call from the official. And looks like they're going to give him a catch. They are. So great gain that time by Troyan and Flores. Firing a ball in there. Not quite sure what happened. Clock ticks under 2 minutes to go. Hustlers still in the huddle. And you don't want a game where you can't score a touchdown, so trying to get in the end zone for the first time tonight. Not a whole lot of time left to do it. Had no problem getting down into the red zone multiple drives tonight, just unable to capitalize on the success. 1st and 10, motions the running back. Troyan throws a dart, and it's dropped right at the goal line. That one just hung in the air a little long. Allowed the defender time to get there and break it up. And running clock, it's 1:04 to go. Clock still ticks after the incomplete pass. 50 seconds to go here, 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Troyan fires it to the right sideline, and it's caught, able to stay in bounds, brought down. Good catch and able to stay in bounds to get a couple extra yards. Colton Brown on the reception, 33 seconds to go. And we get a timeout by the Hustlers, and I don't mind that. I know the game's over, but you never want to be put out without a touchdown. They'll discuss what to call here on 1st and goal. Before this game ends, I'd like to thank everybody joining me here this evening, just me in the booth, Chase Alexander on the call, and I appreciate Caleb Brown's help letting me be able to fix this audio issue I had in the first half. I apologize to those viewers in the first half where the audio was echoing. We got that problem figured out and all sorted away for the second. Hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast as MCC tries to get, a little bit of positive going into next week, and they're going to need it traveling up to Titusville. And that's a game to avoid falling to 1-4 on the season. Cardinal Newman, a team that's 3-1 so far on the year, next after Titusville. So again, another tough matchup for the Hustlers. After that, they'll face Cardinal Newman at home, and another whistle blown. We'll get another timeout, this time by the Hornets. After Cardinal Newman, it's Orlando Christian Prep. That one is MCC probably favored to pick up the win there. Then they're off to Hawthorne. That's a tough matchup. And they finish at Heritage. So, this is a team that, that I personally see on this schedule. They are probably favored to win one of these next 5 games coming up. And that is not what MCC has been used to over these last couple of years here with the talent they've had. And I know they faced a huge injury at quarterback with Brogdon McNabb, but this team is just not the same, and they have a young quarterback in Troyan who will develop into a great quarterback going down the line as he gets these valuable reps in games. Takes the snap, he's going to fire up a lollipop, and it's caught in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Hustlers. Grady Bonenberger on the reception. His 3rd touchdown of the season. And the Hustlers able to put up double digits on the scoreboard. And 5 seconds to go. Trying to get this extra point off before the clock's hit 0. They do. Kick is up, and kick is good. Final score, MCC 13, Bishop Moore Hornets 41. And, you know, Hustlers really have to look back at that first half, and they did a lot of things right, especially on that defensive side of the football in that first half, things that they can build on, trying to slow down that offense with McCullough and Johnson running that tandem in the backfield. Offense obviously needs some help. Just penalties and negative plays when they get the ball inside the red zone is just something that needs to be cleaned up, and it can be fixed. That's a positive. Something that can be fixed is those negative plays, taking rid of those negative plays. And I think that's what they'll do as they travel to Titusville next week. And I'd like to thank everybody for joining me here on this Friday Night Lights Week 5